Good day to you peeps, Liesl here once more, and today, yes, I am finally delighted to be bringing us the second in our series of bits from the back burner, which is another refurbishment, reworking or rebuild, this time of our old friend Bassy Bass. As we know, the neck, I think I kind of gave up on it basically at one point. There are some inconsistencies. It does kind of resemble a musket. I think the body resembles an old ship. There are one or two amazing features with this instrument, which I am going to finally describe to us now. So probably the summer before last, I did attempt to make a different bass using this neck and joining two boxes together. Now I think I might have actually deleted most of that because the whole thing was a massive fail. The neck, I did create years ago, and I kind of copied the heel, I would say, of an electric bass. Later realising that really for a cigar box acoustic bass is not long enough. So it has been secured in the most unusual way, using what I would call roofing brackets. And to digging around, I did actually find some of these brackets. It seems like I have 3 left. So basically I used these. These are what hold the neck on. One each side like that. And then right on the end here is a smaller bracket, which is just a small bracket. Unfortunately, I don't have one to show you, but so 2 great big roofing brackets and a kitchen unit bracket in there, basically. You can see that it was pegged in by me with 3 wooden pegs. The body is pretty scruffy. I couldn't really call this a cigar box bass officially because I made the body out of a load of scrap plywood that was basically supplied quite some time ago now by the parking lot fairies. So quickly I have done a bit to sort of clean this up a bit. You can see it's rather scruffy on the fake Rickenbacker-esque headstock. I have started to fill that with some of our now famous filler because there was quite a lot of damage to the holes where the pegs go in. So I thought, we might as well clean this one up a bit also. I did create this very rustic, as you can see. The shut lines are not exactly perfect. I think it totally lends to this instrument. But I am thinking of actually taking this down a little bit and shaping it up a little bit, because I might put some metal box corners on here, which I think will just be a nice touch. So that's a very brief overview really, and I do apologise, but you will see in a moment that really is the only way I can film this. So moving swiftly on. I think also because the body is already attached to this one, that's going to make it a little bit trickier when we come to file down the edges, but I will explain as we go along. So if we clamp this one to the bench, that's always a good start, I feel. And that can be easier said than done sometimes. But still, there we go. So obviously we want that sort of at the end. We're only going so far up, but I'm going in at quite a steep angle on this, so I want to make sure that we can reach the end in one sort of smooth motion. So there we go, we just clamp that in there. Hopefully we have enough space. I would say so. Just about. There it is. So, now my hands are in the way, but I'm going to move it around a bit in a minute. And same on this end. Obviously, pretty straightforward. There we go. There is a slight back angle to this as well, so I'm just making sure I get it as secure as I can. I've filled 1 or 2 rough patches, as you can see. I think I mentioned that already. And if I can just angle that and get around this side. Yeah, there are neighbours chatting on the landing, if you can hear voices. So, yeah, that's what that is. But anyway, do excuse me, it is dusty in the gloomy workshop. Now, I would say that the depth of the neck isn't too bad. I can see that I've filed it more this side than this side. And this top part, it needs to come a lot further in. Yeah, so we'll be keeping pretty much the depth, but narrowing the kind of slope of the neck. And this is how I would typically go about it. So, yeah, first of all, it's probably a good idea, I always think, to sort of have some sort of marker to work to. So I would start with this round file here. Now I hope you can see this, but I will show you at the end. And just form a little bit of shaping where the neck, the back of the neck meets the headstock. So we want it that away. I hope this makes sense. It probably will when you see the file. So like, if we just start about there and just do a bit of a groove. And there it is. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but I've gone in at a kind of an angle there to form a V shape, so I'll come this side and kind of do the same but the opposite. And the depth of that notch is about as deep as we're going to go as we smooth along here. Now if you're making a neck from scratch, you know, you can trim that down with a plane. A spoke shave is really good. I've got both, but I'm no good at setting them up. And they're both blunt. Yeah. Hence I won't be using those today. On the back of the neck, the same. So just before the heel, we want to go the opposite way. So I would say about there, just about got room for it. Same again. Not quite as deep, a little bit shallower, because I've already taken quite a bit off of here, but it gets thicker here. Yes, which is obviously how I did things in the old days. But it's not how I do things nowadays, so this should be fun anyway. I think that'll do for now. I'm going to go a bit deeper. It's really just to give you some sort of mark. Some demarcation point. And like, yeah, basically just a bit of an indication of how deep we're going to go. Now I've not lined those up perfectly. I haven't, no. And there's no way of showing you that easily, but if we bring the thing back a bit, you can just sort of see there, and I will show you at the end. It's always hard to film necks in this very small spaces. And the dust is flying. Do excuse me. So, having kind of found our points to work from, obviously then I would go, just making sure this is nice and tight now. to my trusty Japanese rasp, and I'm going to start this side. I think it's best to have it fairly near the edge so you can get a good angle. And same this end. That'll do fine. I'm going to refurbish this workbench as soon as I can get a large piece of wood. And you can see that it's absolutely on its last leg. Although the frame's okay, I'm thinking of modifying it a bit. And then typically, so because we've got more room, I would start from this side and just sweep in. So there's your sort of angle in line with the top one there. I know it's a bit hard to see with the clamp, but you'll get the idea. Especially if you shift it around a bit. So there's your angle. And yeah, just basically go in. Now as you get to this end, you want to start bringing it round so that you're pointing the way that notch is pointing. And join the dots. Very careful if you do this because there's always splinters, obviously. We'll blow it off. Right? Try not to breathe too much of it in. There we go, so that's the first sort of part really. I'll show you this, but that has taken that edge down slightly. There's still quite a stiff line there, which you would feel if you were sliding your hands along it, but obviously later on we'll go at a shallower angle. So that's really all it is. Probably easiest now, if I turn it around, and this is where the filming gets, what should we say, creative. Do excuse me, please. So now, obviously we want to do this side, so we want it on the edge. I would normally face the other way, but again, because we're filming it, I'll put it onto this side of the bench. In fact, because of those metal parts there, what I'm going to do is turn the whole bench around. Turn the whole bench around, these silly devices out of the way. Yeah, and we can see what we're doing. Happy days. So, same again on the other side, really. And I would say about that. We'll probably do fine. And just clamp that on there, so that should do us. That's one end. And this end, using some scrap wood obviously to not damage the neck too much, although on this I wouldn't worry too much either, but we will have this looking rather nice, hopefully, by the end. So, let me just get that clamped down. Oh, dear me. So, that is fairly secure. And the magical moving bench will go out there. That's better, and you can probably see better from this side. Where you can probably see better, from this side where we've marked it and where we are going to go. So make sure it is secure because you don't want it flying off halfway through. That's alright. So is that. Okay, I think that's about us. And do the same again. So it's kind of like a chevron, as you can see. We're starting from this end and going that way. And then about halfway, kind of point the other direction, so we're lined up with the second chevron. And yeah, basically, then you can check to see along the sides whether the depth is consistent. I mean, this isn't yet. I can tell that I'd filed these ends more than the middle. And I can see from this that I probably will end up taking the neck ever so slightly lower. Yeah, and that will be slightly later in the process, but basically that's it. I'm going to whip it off the bench now just to show you, because then it's just a case of much of the same really. after this you'll get the idea. Right, so there's the back of the neck now, and you can see if you sort of go in, so you've got a fairly consistent line, you can see the shaping at the top there, you see, which is more familiar, something of a guitar neck, where it meets the headstock. Yeah, on the back and all the way up to the heel. And then with these, it's the same again, just go at another angle and take that flat until you're kind of almost up to this oak piece, I would say, on this one. And the same this side. So obviously you don't want to sit there and watch 2 hours of filing, although it won't take that long. Takes about an hour. But yeah, you do get the idea. And yes, in the you know, up and coming videos, we will basically reveal more of this process. Yeah, so there you go. Typically anyway, once it's finished, once we've filed up as much material as we want to, it would just be a case of taking a large file, probably have it on the bench, although you don't absolutely have to. I used to do them stood up like this. It will be much of the same. That's quite handy for taking this bit nice and smooth. Yeah, but that's basically it. So yeah, I will continue to file that. I'm going to take that a little bit narrower along here. Then we'll file it flat with the flatter file. And yeah, by then it'll be quite easy just to take that slender piece down. And that's not too much effort then, just to narrow the neck. And I think that's going to give us quite a nice result. So yeah, I think that's enough of the neck filing for now, just to give you an idea. And I know that it's so tricky, there you go, to kind of show you anything. But you know, these are the pitfalls. If you're working in a small space, you'll know. Yeah, showing promise. What I might do is you can see that I've patched this up and everything, look, and it's literally nailed together. It is very bodged together. Yeah, but I might shape that a bit, take some of these bad shut lines, file them down a bit, maybe put some corners on. Yeah, I mean that's like 3/4 inch ply on the back, it's solid. Yeah, I did stain this with lots of different things. There's actually glitter paint in there. It does spangle slightly because it's what I had. Yeah, I was running out of brown, so I used brown glitter paint, and then I thought, oh, that's a nice result. They were basically where I buried some screw heads. I thought we'll clean that up a little bit, just to sort of give us a bit of a better idea. And then yeah, take it from there really. Yeah. So shout out to the community time. Yeah. I would like to shout. I sounded posh then, didn't I? Like, I don't know, Princess Anne or somebody. I would like to shout out Kabuki Theatre. Yes, you did give me the most wonderful tip for finishing guitar necks. As you know, I can't use linseed because I'm allergic to it. And I've used everything from walnut oil to olive oil to all kinds, sesame. Now Kabuki, he did recommend mineral oil, which is basically this stuff. Many brands are available, but baby oil. And I used about 3 drops on this neck, on the fingerboard, and it is absolutely smooth, yes. So I would recommend using this kind of mineral oil, absolutely. Thanks for the tip, Kabuki. Yeah, I can see that use a bit of that and some very fine sandpaper, and you get that like glass. That would be lovely. I'm going to put a proper nut on it, because before I just used a knocked out rivet, but I think it does need something a bit more really. I was always amazed with the sound on this. You can see that, you know, by the end I must have been getting frustrated, and especially like working with things that I'd previously created when I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, it's debatable that I know what I'm doing now, but I think I've got more of a clue. So yeah, but yes, thanks for the wonderful comments. You know, one or two of you did say this old girl there looks like she might have some potential, and I think so. Already that feels better. The neck, just holding it, just with that small bit of work. Yeah. So yeah, I'm probably gonna take a bit more out of there, not too much, and that's leveled it more. That's more consistent now. It's more even. I can see that. You will be able to see it a lot better on a future video, I can assure you. So I will leave it there for now. Okay then, peeps. Wherever you are, do stay safe. Whatever you're doing, do stay blessed, and whatever life brings, keep building. Okay then, peeps. On the next one. Bye.